Welcome to the Lucidus podcast, where I explore everything. Because I believe everything is connected to everything else. I also believe in the infinite, unbounded potential within each of us, which infinity, I think, includes everything. So I explore it all. I'm hoping today is short and sweet, but you never know. Sometimes I start rambling. And today is definitely, there are times where I feel like what I'm saying is a very solid premise of the world. Today, not so much. Today is just reflection on a new physical, somatic, energetic understanding of the world as it pertains to community. And this situation is community, but you could extend that to any relationship, human or non, really. So I'm often pulled toward things so strongly, it doesn't matter how badly I don't want to go, I go. I know I need to be there. I am often pulled away from things I very much desire being a part of, but I know for whatever reason, it's not for me. I'm currently in a situation where there is enough pull to get me there and little enough pull that I feel like I can leave. So each time I go, I ask myself, what am I doing here? And I say, I don't know. I don't know. Meaning being there, the reward of just being there is not intrinsically enough. There's enough dissonance in me with the situation that I could just as easily leave. But there is enough getting me there. So I'm in a situation where I don't know. And I've made some decisions in that situation in favor of myself. Listening to me, doing what was right for me. And I did it very well. I did it the best, not only to the best I can, but I respect the way I did it. You know, I let people know, like, I don't think this is for me. I don't really know why. I need to step away from a certain thing, while I'm also stepping into and toward other things within the group. So I'm listening to myself and I'm following those. Now, there are some people who I feel are not super happy about that. I would say some are, and I'm like, wow, that they're showing up in a way I didn't see them, and so clearly, and that surprised me. I was like, wow, okay. I can see there's maybe a couple that are a little more in the middle, like, I'm not sure, they're probably a little bit where I am, meaning they might be taking my decision personally, and we're going to get to that. But they're not really, they don't have harsh energy. I feel like they don't have harsh energy with or for me. There is one who definitely is like, fuck off. And I was just like, whoa, okay, got it. Massive personal take. Okay, I'm just describing the situation as I was feeling it. I didn't know I was going to say all that, because I just wanted to drop right in and say, I'm in a situation where I can feel a lot of energy. So I'm going to imagine something right now, and I may be wrong, but I'm going to imagine it anyway. I'm going to imagine that if you're listening to this podcast, you are someone who is sensitive to energy, meaning you feel things. Sometimes you feel them correctly, like me. Sometimes I feel them correctly. Sometimes I feel them incorrectly, and sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm feeling. I just am feeling it. So in this specific situation, I can feel a lot of things, and not all of them are enjoyable, and some of them are certainly, I would not consider healthy for the other person or for me. And yes, I'm doing my best just to remove the people and just feel the situation. But the situation has enough, let's say, as I said before, dissonance and tension and discomfort that I don't really want to go. So then I asked myself, okay, but what happens when you're in a situation where those those energies are present and you have to go. What then? What happens when you don't have the luxury of just stepping away? And I suddenly thought of all the people in life who have really stood up for themselves and for others. And I guess specifically, it's incredibly difficult to do either. I guess I was kind of thinking more of those who step forward for others. They put themselves in incredibly difficult energetic situations, physical as well, but I'm just going to go with energetic. We're going to pretend like it's a polite boardroom for now. Obviously, people do way more than that. But, and polite is in quotes, meaning, let's say my life isn't in danger, but certainly my feelings, a lot else is. So what happens when I'm put in a situation where I don't have the luxury of leading and all of these energies are present, where there are clearly energies of, let's say, dislike, to put it nicely. I thought, what would I do then? And I said, well, first of all, I wouldn't take it personally. Everybody in that room is having their experience. First of all, they're having their unique experience, which I do not understand. Second of all, they're having their unique experience of me, which again, sometimes I can sort of understand because maybe I've been on the opposite side of the role I'm currently playing for them. But who knows? I don't really know. So if and when I need to go into these situations, my next step in life is not to take other people personally. That's a dangerous statement. That is a dangerous statement because it can lead to habitual patterns, to all kinds of terrible. You can go down a bad road by doing that. I would say if you always take it personally, then this is a good road to start on. Because you're automatically going to keep falling into taking it too personally, taking it too personally. I have found recently I need less, I don't need people to like me. And that is bizarre. Now that doesn't, I'm not above everything, but less and less do I need people to like me. And it reminds me of something someone told me when if I wasn't a teenager, then I was just out of my teenage years. I was quite young. We would go to her house and ride horses. And I must have been upset about something because I remember she looked at me, I was upset about something, and she looked at me and she said, life is too short to worry about people who don't like you. And she happened to be weeding her garden at the time. And then she looked away and just kept weeding her garden like, are you serious? This is not a problem. Obviously, I heard the words. They didn't have a nest, so to speak. They didn't have anywhere to land and to hatch and to grow, but they do now. So, life is too short to worry about people who don't like you. That goes back to, I'm less and less needing people to like me. That doesn't mean I suddenly don't have a deep need for belonging, for being seen, heard, held, and honored, for being seen. All of those are still there, but sort of like the baseline, does everybody like me? I don't give a flying fuck. Like I don't even want to go there because that level of interaction is so not interesting to me. I actually said this to my new therapist last week. I said, I just want you to know, as our first meeting, I said, I just want you to know, I'm going to define some words for you here: communication, connection, and community. And I said, none of those, in my heart, none of those equates to the definition that you will see in a book, nor does it equate to what is being lived, what those are lived as today. Meaning, I said this before, frequency and proximity do not equal connection to me. Just because I'm sitting next to you or I see you every week, not connection. I also don't consider that community. So my definition of those is so much deeper that and the other thing is, I feel like I don't have time. And this, I would say, is like a commandment in my heart now. It's like, you do not have time to fuck around with the likes. Like, you don't have time. There is so much to do, and there is so much more importance going on beneath the likes. You don't have time for it. Like, move on and get busy doing what you need to do. Some of that is physical action, like the physical stuff I'm doing in the world, but as important as the energetic actions I'm doing in the world, this is one of my big energetic actions, is learning to be in energy where there's discomfort, which I've done before, but I've still always taken it personally. So this moment in time was the first time I somatically felt what it was like not to take it personally. And it was like they said, it's like water off the duck's back. It's like, oh, she feels like this about me, and she feels like that about me, and he feels like that. She thinks that about me. Da 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 da. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I played this role. I've played this role. I played this role since the day I was born, right? In my family, in friendships and relationships, in different communities. So I'm just playing out a role in a different community. Only this time I can step away. It's like I'm free to step away anytime, but because there's that little pull, I keep going back. And I'm sure there's great lessons in the going back. I'm not saying there's not, but so what is it to not take it personally? And still care. Because I care enough about what I'm doing there to go. Obviously, I care enough about what I'm doing there to go. So I do care. But I don't take other people personally. Not take it personally and still care. That'll be the title. Not take it personally and still care. That is that to me feels, there's such strength. And again, that's not strong. There's such strength in that embodiment of that, to not take it personally and still care. I also felt an immense amount of vulnerability and like fluttering, and like some part of me is like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Very nervous. My mom said when I was little, I would come lay in her lap, especially when I was still nursing, and I would like rub my fingers across her chest as I nursed, just like very sort of nervous and agitated. It's like, oh, there's so much. I tell you what, I have not outgrown that. Like, I just don't do the mannerisms of obviously not nursing, and I no longer wring my hands, except for energetically. I'm still probably nursing in my mom's lap and, rolling and my fingers kneading my fingers across her chest. Saying, there's so much, and I don't understand it all. That's the other thing I did check in with, like, is this situation dangerous for me? And for right now, the answer is no. Like, no one's, like, coming at me, so to speak. There's a sense of sort of disconnect, not belonging, some not welcoming, not liking, da-da-da-da. But it isn't dangerous, which is a different energy than the same community was, say, 7 months ago. 7 months ago, I did walk away. I was like, no, I'm walking away. This doesn't feel like a safe place at all. Something has changed. Enough has changed that, and I still did remain connected to part of this community, and it's that smaller part of the community that some of them are not, I would say, not necessarily happy or aren't quite able to understand what I'm doing, which is okay because I don't understand my own decisions. Just putting it out there, sometimes we can't explain to our loved ones because we don't know ourselves. We just know that this is what's happening. This is our best today. This is what my best looks like today. That's about all I can tell you. And I do remember I said this was going to be short, and like most things, they're not what I think they are. So I'm in a situation where there's enough pull and enough care to get me there. There's also little enough pull that I could step away. And in that space, I feel like there's a word that I love that is so tricky. And there's balance. It doesn't have to work. This community, they don't need me. I'm not serving like a critical role. They don't need me. I could go, they're fine. This community is not serving a critical role in my life. I could go, I'm fine. Everybody's fine. We're all good. That doesn't mean feelings might not be hurt, blah, 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 blah. But there's no danger, physical danger for sure to anyone. And I would say there's even less mental, emotional danger because we're just not serving those like critical roles in each other's lives. So there's balance for me. I can stand here and say, what does it feel like when I go because I care? Okay? What does it feel like when I don't go because I don't want to be part of that energy? And when I don't go and I don't want to be part of that energy, is it because, here we come back to the title, is it because I'm taking it personally? Is it because I'm taking it personally? Meaning, if I didn't take what other people were feeling personally, would I go? Do I still care? And honestly, in this moment, as I'm scanning my body, feeling myself somatically, I think part of why I'm going is because I care what they think. That's really fascinating to see that part. I thought I just cared about what we were doing, but no, I think part of it is I care what they think, which is the same as taking it personally. And that's why I don't worry so much about the fact that I'm wanting to walk a path where I don't take it personally. It's because I care so goddamn much. I'm not worried about, I'm just not. So, and I have, whatever. I'll worry about that. I get too many messages to do the hard thing to worry about that. Like, somebody in the other realm will slap me into shape if I go too far. No worries about that. So, okay, so this is, like I said, sometimes I share things that are like in stone. Slap it up, get to work. And this one, no. This one is, I'm in it and I'm feeling it and I got a ways to go. I got a lot of practicing to do. Meaning the other thing I was super proud of is I showed up as me. I did not back down. I did not withdraw. I did not let myself be joyful. I enjoyed it as much as I'm enjoying it. And yeah, when I saw certain people, just was friendly and just honestly just open. Just, I wasn't like, didn't like jump to them to greet them. Didn't withdraw. Just, hey. And then they got to say what they wanted to say or do next. Which was so interesting because some stepped toward me, some waved, kept walking, and one, man, if she had an ice pick and it was legal. That would have been, which is not, that one didn't surprise me. That was the good thing, is I know her well enough to know that the ice pick is not uncommon. The ice pick is a common thing. Like, okay, sweet, you got your ice pick out. Like, I've seen it, not with me before, but that's the thing that I learned from dating a man who was sociopathic, is what he's doing. And it also, I can't be more specific about other people, but because it's too, I can't, anyway, other people, whatever they do to other people, they'll do to you. Like, they'll do to you. Just give it time. So, now, and that doesn't mean if we all said, well, like, they treated that singular person event like shit, but outside of that, they're amazing. Well, then that's an amazing person. That is an amazing person. We all have our shit moments, right? But if they're constantly treating everybody like shit, well, that's kind of a red flag. You're going to be treated like shit a lot. So, yeah, anyway, back to what this is about. I am going to practice. I don't know how many times, because I don't even like the thought of it right now. I don't like the way it feels. I am going to practice going to this situation, this community, with the natural care that I have for what we're doing. And for the care that whatever care does arise for the people that are there. I'm not going to stop it. I'm just going to show up with that amount of care. And when I'm there and I'm feeling all the feels, I'm not going to take it personally, because I know they're not mine, because I don't feel them except when I'm there. I can go to other communities. There's another community I'm in right now, which I'm like the chosen child. And it's just so, it's so fun. That's the other funny thing. It's like, I go from one to another one, and it's like they're 2 nights apart, and the other one is like, oh, you're like so amazing. Da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, just wait. Although I have to say, in that community, I don't think I'll sort of lose a little bit of a chosen spot. One, because there's few to none of my gender, so that's always a boon. But also because it's probably a more natural fit. And that's one of the things I've had to realize is I look at my house and there's such a simplicity to it, and it reminds me so much of my dad. Because someone said the other day, like, oh, you need another chair. I was like, I don't need anything. What are you talking about? Where am I about a chair? And they're like, well, right here. I'm like, no, I need that space. Like, simple space. Like, and very organized. It reminds me of my dad in his office. And, like, we couldn't even walk in and, like, touch anything because it would, be out of place. Which I thought was just mean. And now I'm like, oh, he was just trying to keep his own sanity in an incredibly disorderly house. Because outside of that one room was my mom's terrain, and that was absolute hoarding chaos. That's not completely true. She did try to have some beautiful spaces. But anyway, as I'm just realizing, oftentimes I can step into a more masculine domain and fit in really well. Now, is it what I call a community and connection? No, absolutely not. There is communication happening. There's probably bits of communication happening. Obviously, there's bits of communication happening everywhere. I would like to find a more meaningful communication. No, that's not it, because they all are meaningful. I would like to be able to communicate deeper aspects of myself, but we'll see. Okay, so that's it. Floundering around, but I have this beautiful space where I can practice balance of I don't have to care any more than whatever I care, and I can just almost in a way just witness other people and their responses to me, to life, to the community, and witness my own responses. And that's, I don't know that we have many situations like that. I can't think if there have been these opportunities before. I think I've walked away, or I've either walked away, which is one side of the teeter-totter, or I've cared too much, taken it personally, and tried to fix it in some way. The other side of the teeter-totter. And in this, I'm trying to, where's the balance where I care. I don't have to care about the whole world, just I care. I care enough to be here, and I see all the roles we're playing. It's interesting, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of what I finally got to with the rape trial. And I started seeing it, like a year and a half before it finally ended. So I'd seen it, I'd been watching it for a while. But I finally it felt like a circus. So I think I probably said that in a podcast. It felt like a circus, and each of us was playing our role. There was the ringmaster. There were the lions, there were the seals balancing balls, and I can't remember what I equated my two self thing. I think I was like the seal balancing the ball on my nose. Like I was just literally there to just like look at, because I didn't have any say in it. It was just like, okay, I'll just stand here and balance this ball on my nose because that's what I'm supposed to do in this circus. While the lions go at it, and there's a tiger, and there's the ringmaster, blah, blah, blah. Fortunately, we didn't have any flying monkeys, which is probably what I would have called the jurors. I know, I'm not trying to diss our political system, I'm just saying it began to feel like we were all playing out our roles. And I just kept saying, I'm so tired of this role, I don't want to play it anymore. And in hindsight, I'm so glad it ended how it ended. I'm just like, I just was done. There was no win-win in that. There was no win-win, there was no win, there was nothing, it was lose-lose, right? I felt like it was lose-lose. Everybody's going to lose, there was nothing to win. It was just like, this is not, for me, energetically, I just wanted to be done. So I'm grateful it ended. So thinking about that same sort of metaphor, we're all playing our roles in this community. And again, I have an opportunity to see what my role is, which this time feels different, right? Because I am not like helpless there are things I can do in this role. I'm not the seal balancing the ball on my nose here. Like, I'm making decisions and I have choices. I don't just only have this, I would say it's less of a circus and more of just a stage. So just because I've played a role doesn't mean I have to continue playing that role. And I would say I've redefined my role in many ways in the last year. And I'm interested in continuing to not only do that, but learn how. I'm not sure how I did some of it. I know it all started with me, inside of me. And as things in me changed, then my actions, words, energies changed, and people suddenly were like, oh, I'm going to respond differently because you're different. So, how do you care yet not take things personally? I'll let you know how it goes, and good luck. Bye-bye.